welcome to our YouTube channel. My name's Liv and we're going to be talking about everything to do with Marvel. Your favourite films, my favourite films, John's favourite films, anything, what you love about Marvel, let us know and we'll talk about it, or we won't talk about it, I don't know. Over to you, John.
Howdy, my name is John. Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be talking about Marvel Comics, character breakdowns, and I'll also have a discussion about the new clips and movies that Marvel have released within a couple of weeks, and to also answer certain questions like, how did Rocket Raccoon and Groot actually meet? Back to you, Liv.
Right, so this is your official spoiler warning. If you haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just skip ahead. So, Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out very recently. I absolutely loved the first episode. I feel like we got a little bit of action for the first 10 minutes, and then for the rest of it we've got a load of character breakdowns, how they've intertwined, or not intertwined. What did you think, John?
I thought the first episode was really good. Like, it starts off with action straight away. Like, you got Falcon, who's currently like on a mission, dodging missiles, speeding through valleys. It was absolutely amazing. And then after that, you get to see a character for the first time called Lieutenant Torres, who's more of Falcon's eyes on the ground. And I felt like he can be such a good character in the future.
Yeah,
and
I do.
he will do really well. And then, therefore, that's when Torres initially tells Falcon about this group of terrorists called the Flag Smashers, and that he warns Falcon about what's actually going to occur within the total time frame.
Yeah. We also see that Bucky has some sort of therapy. I think it's about time, but anyway. So he has this notebook, and we're unaware of what the notebook actually means at first. Then we realise it's a list of names he wants to make amends to after his assassinations as the Winter Soldier, which he has a lot of them, but I think he's just got a set list of who he wants to apologise to, or families that he's hurt. And this fun fact, or sad fact actually, he's using Steve's notebook that Steve used to write all his music that he's missed since he was on the ice. So I thought that was quite a sad fact.
Yeah, I feel like with Bucky, when he first started, it started off with a flashback for when he was working with Hydra as an assassination mission where he had to kill this evil criminal. But then an innocent bystander was a witness, so he had to therefore kill him to escape. But then he realises sooner or later that his good friend Nakashima was actually the father of the innocent bystander.
Yeah, and then we find out his whole plan was to befriend Nishmar because he was on the list. And then we realise, they're going to have a conversation at some point that he's the reason why his son's dead. But I really hope we do get to see that scene later on in the series. I don't want it, next episode, just because I feel like Bucky needs to sort of, develop a bit more before he can sort of let go, I think.
He also needs to give Nakashima time to obviously
sink in. Yeah. We also saw Sam and his sister for the first time, Sarah, who we've never seen in the MCU before, so that was really exciting. And I feel like we've established their relationship and what it's like for them growing up.
Yeah, I feel like it's better for the MCU to add more family members involved.
Yeah, I do.
Therefore, they can also try and make them more seen and represent them more. Especially because later on, towards the end of the film, they're before Falcon puts away Cap's shield and just makes sure that no one takes it at all, and just leaves his legacy behind. Whereas there was a news report at the end of this episode where there's all propaganda posters saying Cap's back. It's a big thing, which was John Walker, and everyone had such different opinions on him.
Yeah, I can't stand that man. He's not Steve, and I genuinely think his intentions aren't the same as what Sam's is or what Steve was. I think he has an idea of what America is, and I don't think that is what Sam feels like it is or what Steve thought it was. So I think it'll be interesting if we have some sort of, not beef, I don't want anyone to die, but maybe, but I want some sort of interaction with the three of them, Sam, Bucky and John, so they have some sort of interaction, little fight scene maybe.
Yeah, because I think when Sam and Bucky realise that there's a new Cap, they don't like the idea at all, especially the fact that the government gave away the shield to John Walker in the first place. And then Sam even says, every time something gets better for one group, it gets worse for another, which shows that Sam does not like the idea of them giving the shield away to Thingy.
And it's also sad, because he's obviously trusted the government to keep this shield in the museum where it belongs, and they've gone like, no, sorry, your opinion's invalid. We'll just give it to someone else. I think he's lost trust in who he works for in a nutshell. I think that's quite sad, really.
Yeah, I think Sam's also felt a bit of guilt as well, because like War Machine, he was there at the conference or whatever, and he also said to Sam privately he should take the shield. Sam should actually take the shield and therefore become the new Captain America. But he felt like he weren't ready at the time, and he felt like it would be better to just leave it to the government and keep it in a case. But then that's when the government said, nope.
No thanks.
John Walker, here you go.
Right, the second episode, a lot happened in the second episode, I don't even know where to begin. So we see my favourite scene of all time. It shouldn't be my favourite scene because it's quite sad, but I feel like it was really well acted from both sides, from Anthony Mackie and Sebastian, where they go see Isaiah Bradley, and we have the impact of them leaving Isaiah's house, and Sam being told that he was experimented on, and Bucky knew and didn't steal Steve, and they leave the house, and because Bucky had missed his therapy session, which was mandatory for his partition as the Winter Soldier, Sam gets racially profiled by these two cops, and they were originally set out to arrest Bucky for missing his therapy session, but somehow they got a bit confused and decided to threaten to arrest Sam. I think it's a very important scene to be shown. I think it's very relevant at the moment. I think it was very moving, I think.
Yeah, I found the episodes quite professional, especially from the start to the end.
Yeah.
Especially with, they're showing very, big pictures, there's certain racial profiling, at the start when they walk towards Isaiah's house, there's a kid who just says, hey, it's Black Falcon, instead of just, hey, it's Falcon.
Yeah.
It's just racial profiling for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. And then they do end up going to the therapy session, and Bucky does get arrested, but John Walker says, it's okay, I'll bail him out, but he still has to have the therapy session. And then we have the most funniest scene of all time, where it starts off really funny. It was like a roller coaster of emotions, that scene, because they're talking about what they hate about each other. And then we get this funny leg scene where they sort of move in and then they go, ooh. When I read that was actually improvised, which just makes it even more funny. Imagine being on set and then Anthony was like, oh, what if we just do this? Imagine that would have been so fun to been a part of.
Yeah, because I feel like they were able to get the emotions as well from the previous episode, considering obviously the fact that they gave away the shield, and Bucky was such a good friend with the old Cap, Steve Rogers, such a good friend to him. And if, the fact that if he just got rid of it, it was just upsetting.
Yeah.
And then in the second episode, we also get to see, the leader of the Flag Smashers, Carly, Morgan Lau. And I feel like she's going to be an absolutely amazing character.
She's going to be a badass in the future. I've got high hopes for that girl. I feel like she's going to be a really, really good character. I know we've only seen a short scene with her, but I feel like she is going to destroy anything that comes in her path, and I can't wait. I genuinely think that she's a really good character. Yeah.
Because from the first scene, the first time we see her, she's sort of in a fight already.
Yeah.
Because at first, Bucky and Sam think it's a hostage, so they go and try and help her out. But then they realise that she's actually the leader, and then they go into a massive fight. And then from this fight scene, you can sort of see, John Walker gets involved, and that's when we finally see his partner, Battlestar.
Yeah, I like Battlestar. He's nice.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And from what you see, is Falcon saves Bucky's life,
Yeah.
and then Captain America saves Battlestar's life.
Yeah.
And I felt like that went really well.
That was quite funny, actually. So that was episode 2. A lot happened in episode 2, actually. And episode 3 was my favourite by far. So we start off with the episode of Bucky telling Sam, "Oh, I know somebody who will help us find the super soldier serum and where it's coming from." And that man's Zemo. I don't know why he thought he was going to help them. I generally don't know what Bucky was thinking. Anyway, so they help him break out of prison or whatever. And then Zemo obviously is a very mysterious character, and we never know really if he's 5 steps behind you or 20 steps in front of you, and that's what I really like about his character.
Zemo is such a private character, and you don't really hear much about him, really.
No, I think he's an underrated villain or character, whatever you want to call him.
Because Falcon and Bucky originally didn't really know if to break him out of jail or not.
Yeah.
They didn't really find confidence in him, and just don't trust him really, because he can he's like Loki. He can just sort of go with you, but then sort of change and just go against you.
Yeah. So they end up.
Piss off, Ghost! He's freaking gone.
They end up finding a doctor who's been in charge of this serum, and then for some reason Zemo shoots him in the head and blows up the whole experiment area of basically all the evidence that could incriminate this man. He blows up. And I think then that's when Sam and Bucky realise that they don't know if they can actually trust him. And they realise he's actually about 100 steps ahead of them. And I still don't know who's the true motives, what Zemo's true motives are. I generally don't know.
Yeah, because Zemo is very private. He's very smart as well.
Yeah.
On the private jet on the journey there, he also says I ended the Winter Soldier once before. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished. Which that's really a dig at Bucky.
Yeah, that is a dig.
Bucky gets a lot of hate within the series from certain characters within the series. And then they also talk about leadership, where that's when Zemo also draws a line from Hitler, bad leader, to the Red Skull, to Captain America, trying to show that John Walker's a bad person.
Yeah, and the serum only worked for one man, and one man only, and that is not John Walker. Anyway, we forgot to mention that Sharon Carter came to help. Okay. We haven't seen that woman since 2016, since she went on the run. And I'm so glad she's back. I'm so glad she is back. She is going to be a fire within the whole. I'm telling you, she's up to something, John. I don't think she is who we think she is.
Absolutely. I feel like most people are trying to find out what she actually shows into the series.
Because I feel like, no offence to the Russo brothers, but they made her into the love interest. Yeah. Where I feel like this director has made her into just a character. She's not a love interest, if you think about it. She is just a normal character. And I feel like that's why I love her, the new director of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who's called Carl. I really like her style,
Yeah, because I feel like they're going to make her a big stand-up character.
Yeah.
I feel like her and Carly's both going to be big characters within the series. Because obviously you've got the main characters, Falcon and Bucky, but I feel
You've also got the side characters who are just as important as the two main ones, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be able to give everyone a bigger character than just the main characters.
Yeah,
it's not all going to be about Falcon and Bucky.
Yeah.
It's also going to lead on to different parts, like the fact that the Wakanda don't like Zemo, and they come back to try and get him.
Yeah, well, that's all from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but stay with us, because we are going to be talking about the Loki trailer, which came out a couple of weeks ago. I won't lie to you, everybody, I didn't know what it was going to be involved.
Come on. What did you expect?
For some reason, I thought it was going to be all about his childhood. I don't know why I thought that, but so when I looked at the trailer, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I quite like it. What did you think? Because I really love the trailer.
With Loki as a character, I didn't really know much about him. I didn't really have an interest in him, apart from the past movies where he's died 4 times or something. He's really known for dying, but I feel like from the trailer when I watched it, it looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
From the start of the trailer, if you see them going through a time portal, you can see him hold the Tesseract.
Yeah, which is the last time we saw him in Endgame, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and then how he gets the Tesseract was so funny. That was where Tony Stark had it in his hand. He was walking off, and then Hulk smashes the door open. Then Tony falls to the floor. The Tesseract goes straight to Loki. He escapes by teleporting with the Tesseract, and then that's when Hulk says his famous quote, "I don't like stairs."
Big fat mood there from Bruce Banner. So in the trailer we see that when Loki takes the Tesseract, he creates a new reality, which is what Bruce Banner and the monk from Doctor Strange talk about in Endgame. And she says that if you put the Bruce says, if we put the time stones back where they are, it should be fine. And she goes, no, you've got to put it in the exact same time and date of where you took it. So I feel like when Steve took the time stones back, he didn't really understand this as much as Bruce did, and that's when we've got a little branch that's created a new realm or new reality. And for some reason the temporal manipulation people have asked Loki for help. I don't know why they've done that, god of mischief, but who knows?
Yeah, I feel like this is now where everyone's head's going to explode, because the amount of different dimensions that get involved within, especially from Endgame and the time stones. All the time stones.
My head's going to hurt after this series.
All the time stones are unique to their different things, and then the last time we see them really is from Endgame or Infinity War, where that's when in Infinity War they're that powerful, the Infinity Stones, that Thanos puts it on a gauntlet, and then once he clicks his finger, half of humanity just disappears.
Right, that's nearly the end of the video. We just want to talk about one more thing, the Natasha theory. I've seen this all over the internet. They think from the trailer Loki sits on some sort of rock with this Natasha-looking woman. But the more I look at this woman from this screen, the snapshot, I really don't think it's Natasha. I really hope it is, but I don't think it is. What do you think, John? I'm a bit confused.
Everyone has so many different opinions on who she's going to be, because I feel like it just can't be Natasha, because her movie's coming out soon, and I feel like she's going to more prepare for that than anything else. And then so many people say that it's his sister instead, but I feel like it's just going to be
just some random Asgardian woman. I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah, they're going to try and introduce more characters to the Marvel series, because they've got so many in the comics, but they haven't actually put into movies yet. So, I
guess we'll find out on July 11th. I can't wait. We'll see you next time. I've been Liv.
I've been John.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It only takes one book. You ain't got that nerve.
Try me, Beyonce.
Here we go. Not gonna mess this up. Here we go. Ready?
I'm no longer the Winter Soldier. I'm James Bucky Barnes, and you're part of my efforts to make amends.
You don't have to trust Red Wing. But I'm gonna go see if he's right. 'Cause I have a feeling they might be a part of the Big Three.
What big three?
The Big Three.
What big three?
Androids, aliens, and wizards.
That's not it.
That's definitely a big.
No, it's not.
Every time we fight one of the three.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
Yep. How do you know about Gandalf?
I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out.
So you see my point?
No, I don't.
Oh, just the two of us.